After this video, you'll have a lighter pack and you'll enjoy your trips even more. We're talking the top 10 tips that I've learned on the trail. Coming up. All right, everyone, welcome back. I've been looking forward to making this kind of video for you for a while. This is, what this channel is all about, showing you my journey, showing you my experiences so you can learn from them, learning from my mistakes here. So if you watch till the end as well, there's a bonus tip which will save you a ton of weight in your pack. So we're going to get right into it. All right, tip number one is bringing things that have multiple uses. If you're going to bring any kind of soap, bring soap that you can use, biodegradable soap that you can use for yourself and for dishes. I bring a bandana, which I use for a pot holder, and I can also, clean my pot with it. If I needed to in a pinch, I could even use it as a bandana on my head if I lost my hat and didn't want to get sunburnt. And trekking poles. I highly recommend using trekking poles, and you can use those for, if you take video like me, you can use it as a stabilizer pole. You can also use them for porch mode for my hammock campers out there. If you have other ideas and things that you use that have multiple uses to save weight, share them in the comments below. I want to hear about them. I'm always learning, changing my setup, so share the love. All right, tip number two, and this is for my hammock campers. Use porch mode. You can prop up one side of your tarp here with your trekking poles, and that's a multiple use item. And it allows you to cook under here, gives you more space. It's just a lot better scenario, especially if you have a lightweight, smaller tarp. If it rains out, you can cook. It's just do it. You're gonna love it. I had to use sticks today because I forgot my poles, but trust me, the trekking poles are a much more secure item, a lot more dependable, especially if you're up high in higher elevation. Finding sticks like this really aren't always dependable. Tip number three is donuts, moleskin donuts, cutting your moleskin into a donut shape. There you go. Common theory for moleskin is that when you start feeling a hot spot, you should apply it to the part that's starting to hurt on you so that you avoid getting a blister. But we make a joke about this all the time. We're like, what's a hot spot? We've literally never felt a hot spot. By the time we feel it, generally we have the blister. So what you do in that case is actually you cut a hole in the moleskin, you put it around the blister, and that actually works, and it keeps the friction off of your skin there. So moleskin donuts. I learned that from my brother-in-law. All right, tip number four, packing food. Count your calories. Look at foods, weigh them out, see how much they weigh per calorie. Nuts are great. Sugar and fat's okay. Sugar, salt, whenever you're on the trail and you're burning tons of calories, sugar's a good thing. It gives you quick energy, you burn through it fast. And salt, you need to replace those electrolytes. So don't worry about that too much. Candy bars, we actually pack Snickers all the time. I don't even love Snickers all that much, but it started out as kind of a tradition, and it was a joke for a while because there was a guy who literally lived on Snickers through the AT. So it can work for you. It's a great hiking food, and it's chocolate. So what's more enjoyable than that on the trail? For my main meals, I bring cooking, boil in the bag meals. They're easy, very easy cleanup, and when you're all said and done, you can just put all your trash in there, zip it closed, and store that trash without it being smelly, getting everything else around it gross. You don't need to pack extra bags for it, so it's really convenient. They cost a few dollars more than if you made your own food, but for those 2 to 3 to 4 day trips, I think you can't beat them. And at the end of it, the only thing you really have to clean is your spoon. If you're getting value out of this, hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification. It'll tell you whenever new videos like this come up. And it helps me grow the channel. So I'd appreciate it. And it lets me know that you're enjoying stuff like this and I should keep making more of it. So. Tip number 5, have all the items that you need to access quickly toward the top of your pack. Your knife, your toilet paper, food, rain jacket, your shovel for digging cat holes. Do I really need to explain why on that one? Things take longer on the trail to get ready. Digging a cat hole, getting all those things out, getting to the privy, whatever it may be. that can be a game ender right there. So having that as easy access is key. Tip number 6, don't overpack clothes. I actually have a video that I posted about what I put in my pack, and I can post that here, and I talk about what I actually wear and how much it weighs. But honestly, if you haven't been backpacking for a while, you might really overpack on clothes. Everybody stinks out here. You don't need to have multiple changes of clothes, especially if you wear synthetic. If it gets wet, it dries out. It's lighter. You can put it in multiple layers. So this is, you know, like a lightweight synthetic t-shirt. I have a lightweight Under Armour style long sleeve base layer, and then I have convertible zip off pants, which are also synthetic. So if they get wet, they dry out. And I really only bring one pair of clothes with me for a hike, unless it's going to be for a really long extended period of time, multiple days. And even at that, it's kind of a luxury. I do bring separate camp clothes for sleeping in, and that's about it. You should, however, bring a change of clothes for the ride home. Your friends that you came with will really appreciate it. All right, tip 7 is about fuel efficiency. Bring a lightweight windscreen. Don't forget your foil for under your stove if you're using an alcohol stove. And for alcohol stoves, when it gets cold out, make sure you sleep with your fuel close to your body heat in your jacket. Almost all alcohol stoves rely on evaporation, and they don't do that all that well when it's cold out. So if you want to pack less fuel, you got to be efficient with it, and you have to make sure that your fuel stays warm. Use a windscreen to improve efficiency. Make sure your fuel stays warm. All right, tip number 8 is buy once, cry once. I'm sure you've heard that tip before and other things, but with backpacking, it's extra important. You need to make smart decisions and smart purchases. Chances are that, you know, the best thing for you is either going to be more expensive than everything else, or it's going to be free. So what I mean by that is, you know, sometimes you need to invest more in some high-tech stuff, like this top quilt here. And sometimes the best thing is free, which means like you either don't need to bring it, or it's something you already have. You know, like for instance, for dishes, whenever you start out, you know, you can use plastic spoons. They're super light. You probably have one already, or you can find one for free somewhere. Things like that. You know, you don't need to actually get all the most high-tech gear to have a good experience and to save weight, which is important. Whenever you are looking at making another purchase, look at cottage vendors. Go online, read forums. People tend to lean towards the smaller companies, and for good reason too. It's because they started out, they're backpackers too. You know, they love the sport. If this is a sport, I think so. But they love backpacking, and therefore everything that they've done, you know, they're trying to solve an issue that they've already come across. So look to cottage vendors and go on forums, read up. Whenever you are going to make a purchase, I usually put it in my cart, and then I look at it a couple times to make sure it's still something that is either A, going to save me weight, or B, is something that I've decided is worth the extra weight, and I want to afford that as a luxury item. So buy once, cry once. Do it. All right, tip number 9, this goes hand in hand with tip number 8, is weigh your items for your pack, especially whenever you're purchasing something new. Know what you are at right now before you buy the next thing, because backpacking gear is not cheap. And if you spend a lot of money on it and you see it and they've got good marketing, you're gonna love that gear and you're not gonna wanna not take it, but sometimes it's not the right thing. So weigh your gear, focus on the big 3, which is your sleep system, your shelter, and your pack. Invest in those a little bit heavier than other things, and then try to pare back on all the other things that you don't really need. You'll save a lot of weight that way, and save a lot of money that way too. Tip number 10, treat your clothes with benpermethrin before you go, and buy a bug net for your head, especially if you're in black fly season. You feel like an idiot, but you'll be happy that you did. Well, that's it in a backpack. I hope you learned a thing or two. I try to post videos every Sunday, so keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you on the next one. I almost forgot about that bonus tip. So whenever you're out on the trail, pack as little water as you can to get you to the next source. And whenever you are filling up, drink as much at the source as you can. Days before you start, hydrate as much as you can. Make sure you're well hydrated going into a hike. Don't be drinking beer the night before. And then whenever you're out on the trail, like I said, plan for your water sources. I usually just take 2 1¼ liter bottles, empty soda bottles. They're very light, inexpensive. And then I have a Sawyer Mini, so I use the bag for that, which is a dirty water bag. And if I need to, I can always just bring something like that to, have that lightweight bag with me and have extra water if necessary. But other than that, I just drink as much as I can whenever I fill up at the source. Almost get bloated at that time, so I don't need to drink for a while, and then just pack what I need to get to the next one. So that will literally save you pounds on the trail. It's one of the best things you can do to save weight, and it's free. So I'll see you in the next one.